Hi guys, I'm Max6 and we're at the Mecca with my good friend Melvin, Marvelous Anthony. Melvin, welcome to Muscle Beach TV, man.
Hey, I'm glad to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
I'm so happy to have you. I was just telling you off camera. I was thinking about you a couple of days ago. I was like, oh my God, I wonder what Melvin's up to. I went to your Facebook. I saw you moved out of state, and then I come here, and then you're here. It was just like I summon you to be at Gold's Venice, and here you are. Tell me how you doing, man.
I'm doing really good. Yeah, I did move out of state a couple years ago, and been doing some work over there. And I just been called basically out of the blue. I got a call from Shawn Rhoden, and said he wanted to complete his routine, and he wanted to perfect it, and he wanted to learn some marvelous. So I basically said, hey, great. I agreed right away. I was excited, and when I saw him move, hey, y'all better not sleep on that boy.
Oh my God. Okay, so hold on a second. So you moved out of Cali. Everyone's been looking for you. We're like, where the hell is Melvin? I just saw a thread on one of the bodybuilding websites saying, what happened to Melvin? Where is Melvin? Where is he? We miss him and stuff. And so you've been, where did you move? What state did you move at? Can you say?
Mississippi.
Okay. And why did you move to Mississippi from California?
Well, I didn't go there by choice per se, but I went there for work. I was working at a hotel called the Beau Rivage, and I was general manager over 200 employees that cleaned the casino, in the casino and in the stewarding department, which is most of the kitchens and the restaurants.
Okay.
So I ran that crew for about 18 months before I got out of it, and I did graveyard, which I hated. So that's pretty much what I did, and then I kind of did my nutrition and help people do certain pulls in here and there, in the on the side.
Okay.
Hmm.
So are you still involved in bodybuilding somewhat? I mean, do you still? I mean, you still look good, obviously. I mean, you're not as big as you used to be, but you're still in shape. We can see that. Are you still training, or are you still helping a lot of people?
I'm helping people when they call me, and it's mostly but when people retain me, and they give me a call and say they need some help. I do it by phone call, so I hadn't really done any marketing for it, but I thought a lot about it from last year at the press conference, and I was really excited when Sean called me because I told him then I said I'll be happy to help you if you want because I know that I can do something with his physique from what I saw on stage. So for the opportunity for me to give back, just because I'm not on stage, I'll be able to get on stage through Sean.
Oh my God. Okay, so Sean calls you. How long ago did he call you to come here?
3 days ago.
Okay, so 3 years ago, you get a phone call from Charles, and he tracks you down on Facebook. Or I don't know how he got the hold of you, and he
I'll
says,
tell you how.
"Oh, tell me how."
It's funny. The most of the people that usually can find me, there are two main people that can find me. One, for instance, that most people can't find is John Brown. They can't find him, but he always know where I'm at. The other one that really knows who I am all the time is Dennis James. If you ever want to find me, you'll call Dennis James or Dexter Jackson. If you call Dexter Jackson, he always have my number because that's who I paid.
I bet that was Dexter.
Yeah, Dexter always knows where I am because I talk to him most of the time, and he checks on me all the time. So if you ever want to get a hold of me, you can't get through social media. Dexter always knows. So Sean asked Charles, and Charles asked Dexter, and Dexter asked Dennis, and Dennis. They all found me. At one time, also I got a phone call from Sean saying, "Hey, I was thinking about doing something different, and you think you can come out and help me out?" I said, "You're crazy. Did I tell you last year I was going to do it?" He said, "Yeah." So I'll come. I'll come do it for you. Don't worry.
So Melvin, you've been. I think this is so cool, and now I can't. I've actually been here. We haven't shown it. We haven't filmed it out of respect for Sean, but I've been sitting here for the last hour, watching you showing the trade, to Flexatron, and I gotta say it's amazing. So I can't wait for this Olympia, you guys. I can't wait for you guys to see the new revamped Shawn Rhoden because it's beautiful. How do you feel about those are like the first few sessions? How do you feel about what you're teaching him and how he's actually taking it in?
Well, I'll tell you something. Honestly, I'll be the first one to say he was the easiest guy I ever helped. I mean, it's hard, but he gets it. And posing is just not, just getting up there dancing around and hitting some moves and shaking your butt or whatever. No, it's an entertainment value to it, and there's people want to enjoy your physique. He knows how to present it, and my thing is the in between, how to get from
Transition.
the transition, going from a front door bicep to a side chest, and he picked it up right away. The first try, he did better than me, and I came through John Brown, and it took me 1 year to perfect it. Now, Sean, has he perfected it? No, but it's a 60 to 70% change from last year to this year. You're going to see him complete his physique as far as presentation. His front door bicep gonna look different. His side chest gonna look different. His lunge shots will look different. He has an understanding of how to feel his muscle, and that's what I'm bringing back to the sport. I need to show that the art of posing, male and female, there is a process, and he gets it. He's better than I was as far as learning. He learned faster than I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're helping put him a brand new routine together and all that things, including asking me a lot of feedback, poses that he likes from the greats Ed Corney and all these guys. But you also told me that there was a lot of little tweaks that needed to be done to his mandatories and all that stuff. So you helped with that as well.
Actually, exactly, because on stage it's a fight. So if Phil and Dexter and Dennis Wolf and Tony and all these other guys getting on stage think that they're going to be able to push him around this year, it's not going to happen because I'm in his head now. So he's going to have my mentality on stage. So you think he's going to be nonchalant or passive? He's going to get in your face.
I gotta say, man, it's really something special for me to be able to see that, because you guys are acting like I'm not even there, and it's just so amazing to see you give all that knowledge to him and him soaking him like a sponge. It's really awesome.
It's awesome for me to do it. The hands were, my hair was standing back up on my arm because I'm sitting back looking at. I say I did that, and he gets it, and it's like me being on stage when I don't have to lift a weight. It's like I was able to put my spirit in his head, and that's what I have to offer the IBB and the NPC also. You have amateurs that are coming through that think they can present their physique in one day, or they think they can put together a posing routine in one day. Yeah. It takes months, and I was a little nervous when I first came down because I didn't know if he had 2 left feet. Because I won't mention no names. There's one particular person that will tell you probably this coming year he have 2 left feet, and it was very difficult. He was the most difficult athlete for me to train to get ready for a show because he couldn't dance. So if he couldn't dance, he has no rhythm. So can it be taught? Yes. Even a person with no rhythm who has the most terrible physique, I can complete it. I can make them get from one pose to the next and transition fluently. Yeah. But with him, it's so much more fun because it's like taking a bowl of soup and just adding things to it. And he's already ready, so the hot water's already there. The noodles melted right away. The carrots, sauteed right away. I just put it together, and now I'm watching it going. I'm watching it in motion. I'm sitting here, and I'm staring at him too, like, wow, that looked better than I did it. And I told him, I said, if you can spin, you can dance. And I asked him, let me show you how to do it. He did it in the first try. And now I have to call John Brown and say, there's a guy that did it better than me. And John Brown gonna call Shawn. Watch. He gonna call Shawn. Hey, I hear you do my spin move really easy. Yeah, Melvin told me that. Yeah, he's gonna really freak out. Like, who, he better than you at it? I said, yeah, he actually did it in the first try.
Wow.
He know how to spin.
You were talking about the 3 component or factors that are important to posing. Talk about that real quick.
Real quick. Posing, there are 3 factors. First of all, your music has to match your physique. How do you know that? It's like a short person or a small person, a bantamweight, trying to pose the Superman theme. That soundtrack, it doesn't match. Or you have somebody who is an urban guy with cornrows that comes out to a punk rock song.
Right.
It doesn't match.
Right.
Or you have a guy with a blocky physique that's trying to pose to R. Kelly. Right. It don't match.
Right.
So that's the first factor. You have to find something that's reasonable. Okay. The second thing you have to be in shape. Yeah, you can't. If that was a case of me posing, everybody says Melvin was the best poser ever. He's a legend, but they never talk about I had a physique to go with it. I had a 28.5-inch waist to go with it. Mm-hmm. So the posing was only magnified by my body.
Right.
If your body's not in shape and you get on stage look like crap, the music will help so much,
right,
but you won't do well on as far as your placing in the show.
Right.
The third factor is how do I put my music together to speak and say what I want it to say. Yeah. You have to talk to people. Your physique has to say something. Getting on stage and just going up there to Van Halen, what is it saying? What is the song saying? Mm-hmm. You can't go up there and say I want to bite bats' heads off. Right. Like Metallica. Right. I can't do that, right? Because it's not saying anything. It's talking aggressively. There has to be a storyline to what you're trying to tell the judges. This is why I'm king. So I created his music, and I'm good at that. That's my gift. Every man has a gift. God has given me a gift to be able to create for people. So I'm doing Shawn's music for him.
I think you have more than one gift, Melvin.
Well, that's one. Yeah, it's one facet, but it's very exciting for me to be able to put it together because Shawn won't have to say a word. When you hear his music and you listen to what he got to say, yeah, everybody on that stage better move out the way.
So exciting. So Mel, let's change gear a little bit. You've been gone for almost 2 years, and for the first time you're back at Gold's Venice. How does that feel for you to be back here and seeing Dexter and Lionel Brown and Shawn and all these guys? How does it feel?
It feels great. I mean, actually, when I first walk in the gym, I was kind of hiding in the back. I always be kind of hiding in the back, and I don't really say too much. And then when they see my face, they go, Melvin Davis. So I didn't tell anybody I was coming.
No.
I just showed up, and everybody was saying, "I was just talking about you yesterday," and then you tell me, "I was just talking about 2 days ago." I've had about 10 athletes saying we were just talking about where you were at, and where you were, what you were doing. And so
How does that feel for you?
it feels very. I almost cried a couple times. Again, when Lionel came up here and hugged me, it's so genuine. It's not. People miss me, and it's great to be remembered as somebody who's not only a legend, but I was important to them, and that's the only thing I wanted out of my years of competing is to be remembered as somebody who was worth remembering. That he was always nice to me, and
You made a difference.
yeah, I made a difference, and I followed you, and I had a guy that was in his 50s, and he said he followed my entire career, and I always think people be bull crapping when they say I'm your biggest fan. Okay, really? What did I win in 2004? He told me. Where did I place in 2010? He told me. Every show, he even told me when I guest posed in Pittsburgh, what year. Wow. Yeah, this guy, and he was so excited, he was shaking.
That's awesome.
And I was so humbled by the experience to see that some guy that really followed my career, and he was like, I'm just happy to see you in person. So that was his treat. Yeah, it's just like being home. I miss California.
So one last question: the last time you competed, you actually won your last show, correct? Yeah. And right from there, you disappeared. Why did you disappear?
Well, actually, I went from the Atlantic City to the Arnold, and then didn't do as well as I wanted. And then I went from there to Australia and did a couple of shows there, and then from there I just basically, everything was a trying time for me. I went through a divorce, and I went through a lot of things that year. So, in 2009, I went through the divorce. In 2010, I was still kind of like feeling the residuals of it, but I won my show. And then that's when, all the endorsements started going sideways. Okay. And that makes a lot difference. It's not just, people doing shows on their own. It's very, very difficult for you to do it without an endorsement or a sponsorship. So I just decided, well, if I'm going to spend my own money, I might as well do it to live peacefully and live humbly and not try to, not try to go in there and just try to spin my wheels and spending $10,000 to $15,000 to get ready for a show. Right. I said, no, I'm just going to just do my own thing for now. Okay. And then I got used to it. Got used to eating 3 times a day and living a normal life, and it's like, you know what? Now I kind of getting that itch again. It's like,
I think it was good for you to move to Mississippi if you're gonna adopt that lifestyle. But I think if you come back too often, it's just. And with Kevin coming back at the Olympia, we talked a little bit about it on a different segment. I think helping people like Shawn and being around Goals and Dexter and things like that. I don't know if this is the last we've seen of Melvin Anthony. I got to tell you.
I actually always tell myself, in the times when I'm by myself and I'm just alone away from everybody, I always tell myself, I gotta leave right. If I'm gonna officially retire, I need to do one more and give the fans one more a sight, of them enjoying Marvelous Melvin Anthony's routine, and seeing my physique do what it needs to do, and then go and let that be that.
Say goodbye on stage.
Say goodbye, because I know me. I'm gonna cry. I know me. So I know if I do that show and I tell people this is the last one, I'm gonna cry, and that's what I ran from. That's why I disappeared. Okay. Because I didn't want to say I retire. Okay. I didn't want to tell people goodbye. Because saying goodbye, even now, I'm kind of getting kind of like I can see that. If it makes me uncomfortable, because I enjoy watching the fans grow up. I've seen in my career little kids from baby, and now they're taller than me, and I'm like, I've been around that long. Yep. Oh man, you don't think about it when you're competing. You don't see it. Nope. All we do is eat, sleep, and train. Eat, sleep, and train. I see somebody coming in. I'm 15 now. I'm like, and that the little girl I used to hold in my hand and kiss on the cheek. Wow. The same girl. She came with me. That's the past time when I was at the Olympia. Wow. Yeah, she grown now. It's like, wow. Yeah, this is wonderful. But hey, I miss my fans, and I'm around, and if anybody needs to get a hold of me, they're fine.
If people wants to get a hold of you, how can they actually, NPC, IFBB, pros, whatever? Because now the word is out. So if they ever want to hire you because they need your help, how can they reach you?
They can reach me on my Facebook, and my Facebook page is easy to go in there. It's open. It's open to the public, so they can go ahead and then just hit me up on Facebook or just ask Dexter.
Ask Dexter. Okay. Will Dexter say? Maybe he won't.
No, you can go on my. Yeah, I have my Instagram. My Instagram is Prod Marvelous, the Marvelous one. Okay. Or you can go on my Facebook, and there's a couple of people on there that's trying to hack into it and try to act like they're me, but you can't miss mine. Yeah. Okay. If you leave a message on all of them, you'll get one of them will hit me, okay, and I'll respond. All right.
Melvin, it was so good to have you back at the Mecca. I'm so glad we get to do this, and then thank you so much. And I can't wait to see Flexatron at the Olympia. This is gonna be you're gonna be all over him.
Yeah, that's for sure. I have to be with him. I want to see it come to light. So I'm making my way to try to get everything together to where I can be there.
All right. So if you go to the Olympia, you may run into Melvin. All right. Thanks, Melvin.
Hey, thanks.